Hey folks, welcome to the channel, and this is going to be a video about some of the most expensive survival knives you can have. Now, I'm going to focus mostly on my Busse collection because if not, this will take forever. It's going to be long enough as it is, but it's going to be a good way of talking about the topic and showing off a few cool knives and deciding, is it even worth it or not to buy a more expensive knife? Is it just okay to go with a more affordable knife that still completes those needs that you may have? Let's get to this. So the first one I have here on the table is the Busse Bushwhacker Mistress. I really like this knife. It's definitely going to be on the larger survival knife, but it's not the nonsense of the nuclear battle mistress meltdown, whatever the hell it is, which is like 1/4 inch thickness. You don't need a 1/4 inch metal of anything here with this wide of a blade. There's no point in that. It is a little bit of a clip point. It is a large survival knife. I like big knives. I know that big knives will do things that smaller knives will not do, while at the same time, you can push, you can shove, you can pry, you can do a lot with this knife. It's still EDC steel, which is one of the toughest steels there is in the, well, one of the toughest steels ever. It is though not great edge retention. It is okay, but there's better edge retention if that's what you're going for. So keep that in mind. I don't mind sharpening my knives. In fact, I'm going to show you the survival knives I actually use, which one of them is, spoiler alert, a Glock knife, which is 1095 at 56, 57 Rockwell, pretty soft. You need to sharpen it often. So I don't mind sharpening a knife. I do like that it's as tough as it is because of the EDC steel, because of the amount of metal that you have, and I appreciate that it's not some silly thing, way too thick, way too heavy. The handle is not the most comfortable ever, but it is comfortable enough. It is a well-designed handle. I have no problems with it, and the canvas, micarta, is fine. Even though it doesn't seem like it, this is a knife I've actually used quite a bit, being a little bit careful. And you see it went through some things here and there. I mean, I've always been very careful with the knife, but I have used it, and yeah, it performs as you would expect, okay? Very nice knife. Let's move on to the next one. I have Boss Jack. These ones were made for some Navy SEAL special ops guys, not sure. I do know it was a special operations, special forces guys that asked for these ones. If those of you that are more Busse fanatics may know exactly what it was for, but the Boss Jack is, well, it's a cleverly designed blade. They clearly asked for what's basically like the blade of a almost like a K-bar like blade, but with a full tang. This makes it super strong. There's nothing to the blade in terms of trying to reinvent the wheel. It's just a simple blade, gets the job done. Minimal length for someone that wants a knife that may end up needed for defense, for fighting, for prying, for a fighting utility knife using the K-bar definition. So I think this just does that very well. Again, EDC steel, this paint that is just terrible. I hate it, but hey, it is a way of keeping the rust away from the blade. So that's what you get. And G10 handle, orange and black, looks very cool. I like this knife very much with a smash cat sheath, and that's it. Lightweight for the size of it and how strong it is, very lightweight in spite of that. Now I have a bunch of knives that are kind of like on the same line. Let's try to make this a little bit quicker. So I have my small-ish survival knives that I ended up going for at some time. So here I have, this is the Psycho EDC steel. What a steel heart is it? This one? I don't remember. Anyway, one of those Busse. Well, no, it's not Busse, so it's not steel heart. Anyway, Psycho EDC, made by Busse's other company, Psycho. It has Respirine C handle. This handle is very comfortable. Love this handle, and I love that blade geometry. I don't like the choil. Think it's just I'm getting robbed from an inch there of edge. I would rather have the edge going all the way there, but it is what it is. Still, small survival knife, super capable of doing a ton of work if it's called upon it. And also the prying, the digging, the scrapping, the hitting, the whatever the heck you need the knife to do. This is the kind of knife, because of the blade dimensions, because of the geometry, the steel is definitely, well, it's one of the toughest steels there is, so this will do very well. Nice enough tip, nice enough belly for cutting. Even this fuller here, I feel as if helps in grabbing it and making it a little bit lighter. So yeah, and the sheath was, well, this is my own shitty creation, just to have a sheath, you know. This one is not mine, it just is a sheath that, and this is very similar, again, very similar knife. Similar handle, instead of the choil, it has this other thing. Don't remember the name of the knife. If you do know, again, psycho, if you know the name of the knife, let me know in the comments below if you're one of those collectors that knows all of this sort of stuff. But on the same line, you know, on the same line, this knife. Then again, a more dedicated survival knife, at least the way I like them. No silly coating or anything here, just Infi steel. And limited edition 6, is it? 6 inches. I believe I got even the number. You could ask the number, and I got 357 because I do like that number. Respiring C, nice. The choil helps you get like close there. I would rather have just edge, but you have the little thing there. So yeah, you go there. Full flat here, and it goes into the convex edge, gives it a very nice, very sharp edge, so you can cut very, very well. This is definitely a survival knife that will perform very well as a cutting tool in general. If it's going to be about preparing food, just cutting tasks, giving a little bit of carving in spite of the size, and not being a little Scandi grind knife, but still. Great edge, great blade, a little bit of a fat tip, but it's gonna be very tough, and that's always good. Sheath is made in USA, Spec Ops brand, and a little survival kit there. Someone reminded me of this in the comment. Thank you guys for that comment. For the viewer that reminded me of these things. So yeah, I have done videos. If you want, it would take forever. It's like 20 minutes showing you everything that goes in there, but it's just a breast milk bag, which I like these things for my kids. Super compact way of having carrying water if necessary, ways of purifying water, fire steel, matches, little else, and just basic good old survival kits in your survival knife. So I'm done with these. Then I have the Team Gemini Light Brigade. This is known because of the Walking Dead series. This is the knife from Gerald, the guy with the crossbow. Daryl? All right, Daryl. So Daryl's knife. This is Daryl's knife. Team Gemini Light Brigade. He had it in G10 black and green, I believe. I came very close to buying it. Oh yeah, having the same thing. There's a lot of, and maybe that would have been the smartest thing. I'm a little bit of an idiot, so I like black, so fuck you, Walking Dead. I'm getting it in black. Kind of regret it. Kind of wish I think you can send it and have it replaced and whatnot. But no, that's fine. So, Team Gemini Light Brigade. Very big knife, very strong knife. I did work on this edge, and it is freaking insane how hair-splitting sharp this thing is. Just touching it like that rips, a little dust off your skin because of how insanely sharp it is. Have I used it a whole lot? No, I have used it a little bit, not a whole lot. One of those knives that just goes into the collection eventually, and hell, why did you even sharpen it, right? Yeah, keeping it unsharpened like a freaking bayonet or whatnot. This is the survival knife. This be limited edition 6 or I don't even know what name it is, but it's Psycho Infi Steel 9 inches. 9 inches, is it? Anyway, this is for me, and I've done a video about calling this the perfect survival knife. This is the perfect survival knife because of the blade length, because of the blade geometry, nothing reinvented, not trying to reinvent the wheel, just good old functional blade geometry done. Yeah, lighting it up a little bit here, strong tip, sharp as hell, choil that I freaking hate, but hey, I have enough blade anyway, and a handle that is super comfortable. I love this thing. I think it's one of the best options that you have, like in survival knife options. I mean, I have Falk Nevens are also very good. These are all expensive knives. These all go for 300 and something bucks. Not exactly cheap, The handle is very comfortable, same handle as the other ones. So that's that, and survival kit in a Spec Ops brand sheath. Right now, I'm getting to the actual knives that I actually use, which are Glock knife used, not broken or abused or anything, just years and years of use and just sharpening it again and again. It needs to be sharpened often because it's a freaking bayonet. So it's 1095 at a 56 Rockwell hardness, which, yeah, easy to sharp, easy to have to sharp again, basically. But it's on the survival knife military side of things. It's a bayonet. It's intended for, yeah. It is very, very tough. It has been loved over the years without much care in the world. I've used it for everything from splitting logs for the fireplace to using it to mix paint when painting one of my kids' room and I didn't have anything better. So it's just mixing the paint up, just cleaning it, and it's done. That's it. So does a little bit of everything. The sheath is also freaking genius. Locks into place, allows me to put a bit of paracord, a little bit of chute cord for burning. I have a fire steel in there underneath the 550 and a water bag. So those two would allow you actually to, and this is something I carry often when outdoors stuff, day hikes and whatnot. I don't want to have anything heavy, or if I'm worried about losing something or having it taken away from me for whatever reason, you never know these days, depending on where you're going and whatnot. But this is a knife that I don't worry much about. It's $20 I think I paid for it, $22. It was under $25 that I paid for the first batch of Glock knives that I bought, and I have several of them. So yeah. A knife that is definitely a survival knife that I use quite a bit. The other survival knife that I use quite a bit is the one that is from my own design. This is the prototype, or at least one of the prototypes, of the Ferfal survival knife made by Aitor in Spain. Aitor is one of the best known survival knife manufacturers. I mean, I've known them since I was a child. The Jungle King 2, Black Bear, White Bear, those are all Aitor knives, and they've been copied over the years by Chinese knockoffs and whatnot. The real deal is fantastic, and this is the prototype of this knife right here, right? The Ferfal knife made in Spain in 680. The production current one, these was in N690. N680 is even tougher, and yeah, for a survival knife, even a better choice. When we first started on the batch, they did already have some N690, and it was, N690 is just fine. It is used by Extrema Ratio. It's a heck of a steel. I'm okay. We'll do the first batch with N690, and the following ones in N680, which is, what I consider almost like an ideal stainless survival knife steel. Now, you can go with any steel. Honestly, hell, this is 1095 soft. 420 is used all the time in bandits. 420 is fine. The thing is, and I have actually tested these things, this will have considerable better edge retention than Infi, than of course 1095. So the edge retention in this thing is actually very, very nice. And if you're gonna use a knife for actually, cutting besides surviving the end of the world, it's nice to have some nice edge retention. Not too crazy, easy enough to resharpen again, super stain resistance. This can even go in salted water. It's used in some diving knives, this steel, N680. So it's as stainless as it comes. It has a shit ton of chrome, has nitrogen as well. So it's one of these crazy boiler Swedish freaking steels. And the knife is not all that expensive. I think it's going for under $200. Fuck, you buy shitty 1095 survival knives for that money. And of course, since I designed it myself, I knew exactly what I wanted. I wanted a knife that was not huge, but heavier here on the head, so as to have a little bit more chopping ability. Edge very close, so as to have that thing going on there. And it's the survival knife that I always wish I had the chance to design. I actually got to do that, and yeah, here it is. It also comes, which is very cool, with a sheath from the Jungle King 2. And this means it is injected molded nylon reinforced with fiberglass or some weird ass shit like that. Super tough. It's not some Kydex sheath. No. It's insanely tough, this sheath. It is a NATO approved strap that it has for retention. Yeah, so much about, if we're gonna go fancy, we're gonna go fancy all the way. So NATO approved strapping system and a proper survival kit inside here, just one of these tubes. And because we have to go the extra, we go with a spare Skinner knife in there too. It is freaking sweet. I really like this thing. I'm happy with the result. The survival kit has like, plaster, fishing line, a fire steel, which is very cool to have a fire steel here in the knife too, and sharpening stone. So yeah, these are the knives I actually use. These are the knives I probably just bought for fucking never using, hopefully never needing them. But if I need a survival knife, when it probably is that moment, I'm most likely gonna be with one of these two, and they will do just fine. Now, wrapping up this thing, do you need to spend $300 on a survival knife? Yeah, you do you, buddy. Whatever you want, that's gonna be just fine. You want to spend $300 on a survival knife, $1,000, whatever makes you happy. I really like my Enfys, my Busses. I'm happy with them. I think they're cool. I know that this will do very well for most needs as a survival knife. Now, it hasn't got the edge retention that this thing has. It's not nearly as good steel. This is heavier, bigger. Still, I think it's still under $200, which is crazy. So yeah, just check in the links below if you want to buy this. I always have them in my in the description of the video. But it's really up to you. If you want more of a military, thin, lightweight, cheap knife, you can't go wrong for a Glock for $25. And there's a ton of other manufacturers that make excellent knives, excellent jobs. These are just the ones I'm familiar with. This is the one I actually got to design and make for a very well-known manufacturer that makes a quality product, so that's awesome. But it's up to you. You decide what works best for you. These are the things I have to share with you folks. Have a great day. Take care.